Crowds and cancellations. It's already a tough start to the 4th of July travel rush as hundreds more flights are scrubbed. What you need to know before heading to the airport or hitting the road for the holiday weekend. And waits could get even longer at Disneyland in the coming weeks as the park makes plans to shut down 3 more of its popular rides. You are watching The Rundown. I'm Michelle Vias in for Robin Winston. Some train services are suspended right now after a train slammed into a work truck in Moore Park. The collision involved a Seattle-bound train carrying nearly 200 passengers and over a dozen Amtrak employees. The impact of the crash caused the train to partially derail. 15 people are injured, including the work truck driver who's being treated at a trauma center. Crews worked through the night to repair that 1,300 feet of damaged tracks.
When we initially got dispatched to a train derailment, we think of the trains on the side and severe injuries. In this case, we're very fortunate that the cars did not technically, roll over or go sideways, and I think that really reduced the impact to the passengers for injuries.
At the time of the crash, the train was traveling to its next stop in Oxnard. Now, right now, there's no word on why that truck was stopped on the tracks. Amtrak is hoping to resume northbound services by Thursday afternoon. That's not the only kind of travel trouble headed into the 4th of July holiday. If you're taking a flight or waiting for someone to fly in, you may be waiting for some time. While things don't look as bad as they did on Wednesday, storms and staffing are still causing delays and cancellations across the country. There have been several thousand canceled flights since Sunday. Airports are filled with stranded passengers, some sleeping on chairs, luggage, even on the floor. And airports will get even busier as we head into the holiday weekend ahead of the 4th of July. Here's another issue. Many people are not getting their luggage. This is video of baggage claim Thursday morning at LAX. You can still see all kinds of suitcases just waiting to be picked up. Many of those have tags with local addresses. The coast and beaches will be popular spots this holiday weekend as temperatures start to soar to potentially dangerous levels. Here's Belen de Leon with your first alert forecast.
Hi, everyone. I'm getting you ready for a summer sizzle in Southern California just in time for the holiday weekend. We're going to have a high risk for heat illness in the deserts, the mountains, the interior valleys. Temperatures are expected to reach the 90s to well above 100 degrees from Friday through early next week. The heat is going to peak this weekend, so you want to limit your outdoor activities. I know that's hard to do because of the 4th of July, but we want to keep you guys safe. Drink plenty of water and never leave kids or pets in those closed cars. Look before you lock. Now, this hot, dry weather is also increasing our fire danger. The risk will be high due to the holiday weekend and the firework activity. Minimum relative humidity will be dropping into the single digits to 20% each day, so there is a potential for some rapid fire growth. Please be safe with any fire sources.
2 drivers in Chino are extremely lucky after both survived a high-speed crash. The moment of impact caught on video. You can see a car pull up to the red light to the left of your screen. That driver enters the intersection once the light changes, and that's when another car blows right through the red light and T-bones the other driver. A pastor who lives near that intersection ran out with a long hose and helped put out that fire until more help arrived.
So when I looked out the window, the vehicle was on fire on the bottom, so we just got the water hose, wetted him down as much as possible, enough just for 2 guys just to yank him out.
Amazingly, both drivers were taken to the hospital with what appears to be non-life-threatening injuries. Firefighters are also getting close to completely putting out a brush fire that broke out in Paris in Riverside County. Now families who were evacuated are able to head home. The juniper fire now 90% contained. While it was sweeping through almost 70 acres of land, the brush fire also destroyed 2 homes and damaged several cars. Even though families have been let back into their neighborhoods, an evacuation warning is still in effect in that area, and that means people should be prepared to leave immediately if the flames flare up again. Fire officials are urging families to have a box or a bag ready to go, filled with essential items like your documents, family pictures, and medications. Governor Newsom will join fire officials to reveal how the state is preparing for the peak wildfire season. The governor's office announced that California is investing $2.7 billion to manage forests and hire more firefighters. And CAL FIRE is also getting more helicopters and aircraft specifically for wildfires. We'll also get an update on this year's wildfire season forecast. The Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority is about to release the results of the 2023 Greater Los Angeles Homeless Count. And this year's count took place in January and provides an estimated snapshot of homelessness in the county. Meantime, the cleanup of a homeless encampment in West Hills has been put on hold. This after an email from an LA police officer was leaked. It's an email that the police chief called highly inappropriate. Here's a portion of the message sent to the community. The officer says she wants to make sure all there at the encampment on the 29th so that she can arrest them. This is a hush, hush task force, end quote. Well, here's what the mayor had to say about it.
That is not the way we are going to solve the problem in our city. It is certainly not the policy or anything that I would agree with in my administration.
But a member of the community defended the officer. She told us that she didn't see anything wrong with that email. Police Chief Michael Moore, though, disagreed and said the officer will be retrained. A new effort to cut costs for street vendors is moving forward. The LA City Council approved a study that would make vending permits less expensive and provide financial assistance to help vendors get them. Members said this would encourage more street vendors to operate legally. More than 30 street vendors attended Wednesday's meeting. Most supported the study, and others encouraged the council to remove permit costs altogether. Hermosa Beach police are looking for the man seen throwing fireworks into a crowd of people last weekend, and it was all captured on surveillance video. Police say it happened on Pier Avenue, where a group was holding a silent disco event. Officers got a call about fireworks exploding in a crowd with several people being hit by fragments. The person who threw it was riding a beach cruiser-style bike with an attached gas-powered motor. In an effort to stop people from using fireworks, the LAPD is hosting a buyback program. Now, this is an anonymous program now in its third year. So far, people have turned in more than half a ton of fireworks. This year's event is on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. It's going to be at the Brand Park parking lot in Mission Hills. Both LAPD and LA Fire will be out there on hand to safely collect those fireworks. In exchange, people will receive gift cards to places like Target, gas stations, or local amusement parks. And again, you won't be getting in trouble for those fireworks. If you need help with projects around the house, there are several apps that can connect you with an expert. But one homeowner reached out to the I-Team with a warning about one of those apps. She says if something goes wrong, you may not be protected, even though the company advertises that you are. The I-Team's Carolyn Johnson explains.
Darlena Getz in Orange County needed help mounting a new TV, so she hired a handyman or a tasker through the app Taskrabbit. When the TV was up, she wanted to recenter the credenza beneath it, moving it just a smidge.
And I said to him, we need to lift it and set it down.
Darlena was concerned the fragile legs would break if they tried to scoot the credenza, and sure enough.
Then the next moment, he decided to take his hip and just shove it. And that's when it snapped off both legs. I just looked at the guy and, because I had just told him we need to lift it.
Darlena says that 2-inch shove ruined her $2,800 credenza. In these pictures, it looks like the legs are cracked, but they're actually broken, unsteadily bearing the weight of the entire unit. Darlena says she later asked the tasker about his insurance, but he didn't respond.
I can't afford to go get another one. I mean, that was a very big expense for me to do. I was sick over the whole experience.
But then Darlena felt, well, a little happy. She learned Taskrabbit has a happiness pledge, allowing users to recoup up to $10,000 for property damage due to a tasker's negligence.
So Darlena filed a claim, but it was denied. Taskrabbit says she missed the 14-day window to file the paperwork, even though she says she told them she'd be 2 days late. Instead, the company offered her a $125 credit for a future task.
I'm just tired of getting stepped on by companies or people, and I just thought this was enough.
The I-Team reached out to Taskrabbit, and it confirmed it denied Darlena's claim because she missed the deadline, but said if a Taskrabbit user asks, it can reopen claims and even extend deadlines. And after the I-Team hopped on this one, that's what happened. Taskrabbit refunded Darlena the $2,800 she paid for it.
That was Carolyn Johnson reporting. If you hire a tasker, you may want to choose one that offers insurance in case something goes wrong. And if you have a problem, report it to the company right away. Madonna's tour is on hold after the pop star was admitted to the ICU for a bacterial infection. In a post on social media, Madonna's manager says her health is improving. The 64-year-old is still receiving medical care and she is expected to recover. Madonna's 35-city global tour that includes LA was scheduled to last through the end of the year. Those performances will now be rescheduled for a later date. First, it was Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, and Mr. Toad. Well, now Disneyland is closing 3 more of its attractions for refurbishment during the peak summer season. Soaring Around the World will close from July 5th to the 14th, according to the theme park's website. The monorail will also close on the 5th, and Toy Story Midway Mania will close July 17th. Soarin' and Midway Mania are some of California Adventure's most popular rides. Disneyland often has to close the monorail when it gets hot because the cabins don't have air conditioning. Disneyland has not set dates for the attractions to reopen. You can always get news and weather updates on the NBCLA app and at our website, NBCLA.com. And be sure to tune in to Today in LA on NBC4 weekdays from 4 to 7 a.m. We'll be bringing you all of the day's headlines. Thanks for watching The Rundown.